somebody with a weird name. I can't remember the other guy's name.
Aloysius.
The poor guy who worked with him also on the Social Network that will fucking never get credit.
I know, but
nobody wants to remember his name.
He's got a great name, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I never can remember that. But,
I feel bad for that guy because, I mean, he is like the other 50% of the guy who's creating that soundtrack.
I've seen interviews with Trent Reznor. He was like, well, I couldn't do it without my writing partner. Who are you?
He's like the other guy from Wham.
No. He's the DJ. He's the DJ Jazzy Jeff of the group there.
Atticus Ross.
Oh, the other sound.
This is the other guy that wrote the
That is
music.
an interesting name. You're like, come on, guys. You should remember Atticus Ross.
Yeah, Atticus Ross. I think he's the killer in this movie.
Sounds like a killer.
I appreciate Fincher's touches just enough to say I do prefer this to the Swedish version. I think it's just based on such great source material, though, really, and both characters are really unique. I think the mystery in here is what makes this the best of the three of the films that I've seen, the Swedish ones, because that story is really intense, and how it plays out into a totally twisted serial killer story.
I am fascinated by this character of Lisbon. Every time the movie picked up for me is when she came onto the screen or when we got into her situations, because that's where things happen. I mean, as horrible as they are, I mean, she's getting robbed, she's getting raped, she's doing like the real cool kind of, the tech investigation. She's doing all the hacking, and plus, she just looks crazy. And that's why I think a lot of people are making for me, it seems like whenever somebody talked to me about this movie, everybody says this is such a fascinating character. Lisbon in this movie is humanized a little bit more.
Sure.
And I actually like that. In the first movie, I didn't really care about that chick. I just like, she just got a cool look. Like I said,
that's exactly what I was saying.
She looks like Edward Scissorhands with hands.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Okay, she wears a lot of makeup and a mohawk and a lot of black.
Yeah.
Big deal. But here, she's almost alien. She's almost crazy. She's a tiny little doll. No, she's an angel of destruction. And of all the things I wasn't sure that she would pull off later was that she was sexy. Because in the beginning, I wasn't thinking that at all. I was like, God damn, she's fucked up.
And that she was vulnerable, which is a quality that's not in the original at all.
I mean, this is a character that goes through every arc you want in a movie.
Well,
I agree. I thought she gave Rooney Mara gave one of the best performances I saw this year.
Well, the reason that's so great is because that character starts out cold.
Yeah.
I mean, for one thing, she ain't got no eyebrows. So
she's got him dyed blonde.
She got him dyed blonde.
So
yeah,
look like she has none.
Yeah, she looks like she has no eyebrows, and I'm gonna tell you, not only did I find that not sexy, but I found that that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah,
one guy does try to violate her, and it's scary because she lets him do it a couple of times. Just to kind of get, I know why she does it. She doesn't think the guy is that bad, and she underestimates the guy. And there's one time when she thought like, wow, I didn't think you were that crazy, but you want to see crazy? I'm gonna show you fucking crazy. That guy, by the middle of that movie, that guy, if she sees him in the elevator, he's like in the corner.
When you get to the second book,
Pissing on
you
himself.
Understand why she is the way she is with all that, because the second book really focuses on the fallout from all that shit.
I think she tells that guy, fuck me. I rape my own self twice a night.
I also love this movie. I think it's really well done, and it does have a slow pace, which some movies it bothers me, some it doesn't, and this is one where it doesn't. And of all Fincher's movies, it probably reminds me a lot more of Zodiac than Seven. It's more in keeping with that. But my one failing with it is that with both of the movies, they still managed to not make Mikhail Blomkvist the interesting character that he is. I mean, you go to Daniel Craig, he's doing a decent job, and yet there's nothing really, they don't set anything in his personality to make him stand out.
Well, how are you going to be the most interesting character when you acting next to somebody that looks like the Crow through the whole movie?
But
I'm just fucking around.
But the problem is, like, it goes back and forth, but between the two characters until they meet up.
Not only do they make her human, but by the end of the film, they make her like sympathetic. I didn't see the hype with the original movie. Don't really see it with the remake, but I still think it's a very good film. I'm gonna give it a high matinee.
Well, I pretty much ignore the hype. That's why I hate hype, because it does that to you. It makes you expect more than what something is planning on delivering.
I'm not going to. Real quick, just to clarify, because I know it's making it sound like I went in with high expectations for this movie. I will say that even without knowing anything about the movie, I think my I would still have a problem with the pacing in the middle.
Maybe you would, but you did mention how you didn't see what the hype was about several times. I'm saying the hype affected you on some level.
I
mean, you got to give me that.
Knowing Corey what the type of stuff he usually likes, I believe him when he says
No.
that.
I know that. I mean, even watching it, I'm watching and enjoying it, but I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I can see somebody really like getting tired of it right now, just feeling like, come on, pick it up.
That's okay. You're right. That's me. You're talking about.
I know that, but I recognize that. For some people, it works. For some, it doesn't. I get that. But for me, I got to say, like, I vastly preferred this to the Swedish version. And not that I thought the other one was bad, but I just thought this one was much better for all the reasons we named. For me, it's a low full price.
I enjoyed this more than the Swedish version, although I wouldn't say vastly. There are certainly things about it I think sell it more, but I don't think that there's anything here that's going to sell it more to, people who wouldn't like it for the same reasons that these two guys don't, which are valid. I'm not saying they're not, but it's the kind of film you go into wide awake and you prepare to pay attention to. It's not a normal thriller by what we normally consider thrillers in American audiences, where it's like, okay, there's got to be beats here, 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 and here.
Because it's mostly a mystery than it is a thriller, and the thriller part comes in later.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you spend the whole time focusing on the thriller, then you're like, well, where is it?
Yeah, it's not one of the things I like so much about it is that I can't think of a single other film that I would compare it to, and I think it succeeds on that basis, if nothing else. And both times I've seen it, I've been right there with it, and I really love this film. I'll give it a full price.
The thing is, you dress a girl up like the Crow, people are going to remember her. She's going to be the one focus point of this movie, and that's about it. Girls are going to be dressing up like her for Halloween, but when you think about the movie, I'm like, okay. At least for me, there was still nothing in there that grabbed me to make me go, okay, this is a unique thriller. This is something that you need to tell your friends about, because at the end of it, I was like, wow, with the ending, which I had the biggest problem with it. Sure, you're getting a side of this character that, okay, it's interesting, but I think it just comes in at the strangest, oddest time. I honestly think this movie has the oddest ending for a movie, but that bigger mystery just didn't grab me, which makes me not really all that eager to see the next film. But I thought, with the pacing, with maybe it is so complex that people like me just aren't going to get it at first. I think that's going to be a problem for the general audience. I don't think they're going to care as much unless you're like dying to see something all that new or all that popular based on the books. But overall, I mean, honestly, this is one of those movies I walked out thinking to myself, wow, why do I feel like I have to like this? If I don't like it, I'm going to be like stoned to death, like in the middle of the street. When I tell people,
not Harry Potter.
It's but the thing is, it's Fincher. I love Fincher. I think, and I'll give the movie credit for this. It's amazing to look at. The cinematography is fantastic. The score is incredible. I just wanted a Meteor story. I have to give it a Reynolds.
That's one of the things that I kind of felt watching this movie too. I was like, why do I get the feeling like if I don't really like this movie, when I walk out of this theater, there's going to be a group of girls that look like the chick in this movie that's going to beat the shit out of me for not liking
with
it.
With a dildo.
They're going to not only beat me up, they're going to rape me, leave a poster in my ass.
Did that happen?
Yes, it did.
Oh, good. I was going to say, because I wrote the check and everything.